Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another May I Scraplift You layout for you guys today. And today I am scraplifting Ronnie Sue Scrapper. I absolutely love all the details that I see in Ronnie's layouts. She does so much, and most of it is handmade embellishments and die cuts. I mean, she uses her tools like no one else does. It is amazing. So what I have for you guys is a couple gears that I have from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. I have some packaging from the Spectrum Sherbert collection from 49 and Market, and it's all packaging. No special papers there. I also have, there it is, showing you guys that they are indeed packaging. I also have some mesh pieces from Hobby Lobby, and a few 49 and Market Spectrum laser cut pieces, die cut pieces, the leaf bits. I mean, just all sorts of leftovers from the Spectrum Sherbert collection that I'm afraid is never going to be ending, just to be honest. I also took a couple gears and sprayed them and splattered them and prepped them for this layout using these three Dina Wakeley's. One was sand, the other one was syrup, and then of course Ancient. So I have two stencils going on here. One is the Tim Holtz brick stencil, and the other one is Pear Tree Cobble stencil. And then I plan on using this brushed corduroy for the stencil work that I'm going to use. And then I have one photo of us at the Devil's Post Piles. Well, not of us, of my son and his grandfather and grandmother. So 3 generations standing right there. I think that's pretty cool. So I also have a mix-in sheet from Close to My Heart back in the day when their Life in Full Bloom collection came out. This was supposed to be an add-on piece that you could add on and get your layouts to extend slightly a little bit, or get your supplies, I should say, not your layouts, your supplies. So I'm going to take this brushed corduroy and go ahead and just very heavily do my bricks and just randomly try to line up the stencil work. I don't need it to be perfect because of everything that's going to go on top of it, but I definitely wanted to have a darker stencil work around just like what Ronnie Sue has, but it looks like she took a brick piece of paper and trimmed it out and roughly inked the edges and things like that. And so I wanted that same effect, but I did want to have I wanted it to be a stencil instead of a piece of paper because I wanted all of the artwork that is on this collage paper to shine through. Then I took that brick paper and whatever was left on my ink pad or on my blending tool, I used the cobblestone. Now she looks like she used what kind of like a hashtag looking stencil, so I wanted to kind of represent that, but I wanted to still stay with the bricks and the cobblestones because we are around, rocks. So I definitely wanted to portray that. And then the last thing that I did was took my blending tool and inked around the edges. So I'm going to work on the photo mat so that way I know how big of a piece I'm going to be working around as far as embellishing and stuff. I know I have way too many embellishments hanging out. The thing about the frayed burlap is that it is a yellowy brown. That's why I pulled out all of my yellow elements and whatnot, but I don't know if I end up using them, to be honest. I also am going to just play around with all of this packaging because it's very similar. There is one piece I do not end up using. I'll save that for a later date. Another thing that it looks like Ronnie Sue added was a couple strips of papers. I'm not really sure, but it looks like a couple strips of papers going up and down behind her photo. And I'm just going to use the mesh, and then I'll take that mesh and put it on the other side because it looks like she used a little bit of it as well. So I'm going to have that sticking over on the bottom right. Yes, that is the right side. And now I'm just going to sort through all of these pieces. When I have a large pile like this where I know I'm not going to get everything, but I wanted some options and choices because I didn't know exactly how big things were going to be, I like to separate everything out to see what it is that I have. Now, another thing that Ronnie's ended up using was some tags. And so I definitely wanted to make sure that I got a few of the tags down. Love This Most is going to be my title. Even though it's just a nice teeny tiny little one, Ronnie ended up she has a title down at the bottom, but then she has like a quote over on the right of her photo. I'm not going to be doing the quote. Again, this is a series of photos that I am scraplifting, so I have a ton of pictures, whether they're in pocket pages or they're going to be a double page or a single page, about the same event. So I don't really, for one, it's just more for creative aspect, and for two, it's just one of those things where I don't really feel like I need to express myself with a lot of words on every single page, if that makes any sense. So for this one, I wanted it to be a 2-page layout because it is 3 generations in one photo. And so I just wanted that to be represented. So now I'm going around with all of my leaves and things and looking at Ronnie's and seeing where does she have all of her little vines that are so intricate. I'm pretty sure she has a die for that. The things that she has in her stash are fabulous. So anyways, I am just trying to contrast and compare with what Ronnie had done, and then trying to get that same aspect. I almost forgot that she had a little cluster going on over in the upper right-hand corner as well. So I'm going to go ahead and try to add a few things. I don't know if I add some brickwork. Ronnie did do some brickwork down in, both right-hand corners, or I should say over in both right-hand corners. And I did not do that. I only used the cobblestone over there because I didn't notice it until after I started putting my layout together. Now, this is also one of those layouts where I spend a lot of time tucking and weaving everything in, and then I go off camera to glue it all down because it's just the same exact repetitiveness, except that I go through with my liquid glue and start gluing everything down. I do take and add in a bunch of these little tickets just to get a little bit more of this blue color going on and a little bit more layering. The gears have no significance whatsoever in in my layout, except for the fact that these rocks go through a cycle, a specific cycle, in order to form the way that they do. And so that would probably be the only representation of the gears, is because of the cycle that these rocks have to go through to get the way that they are. And then I will be talking about them as well in a later situation. But this is, like I said in the photo, this is 3 generations. It is my son, his grandfather, and both of them are named William. And then, of course, his mother, which is my son's great-grandmother. So I just absolutely love the fact that every other year we get to meet at June Lake and have this family get-together. I do have to say that this year, 2023, we were supposed to go to June Lake, but because of all the snow and the medical conditions that Grandma and Grandpa have, we are probably not going to make it to June Lake this year because of the weathers. We're worried that it's going to be too cold up there for them. So no worries, we will make it up for sure. And then for the last little bits, like I said, I went off camera and glued everything down. Some of the things have foam behind them just to keep them a little bit dimensional, like some of the flowers have a little bit of foam and whatnot. And then I'm going to add the word magic up at the top, a little tab at the side, and that's pretty much the layout. Like I said, Ronnie Sue's layouts always have so many little tucks and weaves inside. It's like a treasure hunt on every layout, and I wanted one of my own. So yes, I did enjoy very much putting this layout together and tucking and weaving and adding all the different layers and dimensions and whatnot, even though it's still a pretty flat layout. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Ronnie Sue, thank you so much for allowing me to lift you today. I really, truly love each and every one of your layouts. It is a fabulous. Also, too, be sure to check out the playlist down below and check out everyone else that is playing along with May I Scraplift You. And thank you again, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.